your kittens and away we go!
This is RamView Update. Happy to be here. It's 8 o'clock on Monday morning. Well, it's a little closer to 8:30. Trying to do an update here, getting an update in. Little controversy here in terms of my technical issues. Got into a little bit of debate with someone, but we got it done. We're here, and we're going to talk about 10 things from the Rams' win yesterday or last night against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And first, I want to start with this. I think this is really critical. When we start talking about anything all day today, this is what I'm going to be encouraging you folks to share. Let's see here. Let me get this here. This is what I want to hear. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. All you got to say is, Joe T, you were right, and then just move into whatever your question is. But say it with me. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. There we go. All right. Cool. We got that part taken care of. Believe me, we're going to get back to it. This is Victory Lap Monday for me. Two things front and center. First, the Buccaneers have been banged up for more than a month, right? This victory would look a lot stronger if this was in week 3, week 4, week 5. But they've really been banged up. They were banged up last night. And, of course, the Rams banged them up pretty good, too. They were without their starting left guard, let alone their studs in other positions there. So they were banged up. Second, though, the Buccaneers were banged up, and the Rams did to them what they should have done against a team that was that banged up. So it wasn't like some of the games where you see the Rams play, like the Titans game. Now, that was week 2, but the Rams fooled around with the Titans way too long before putting them away when they should have put them away from the get-go. Now, you can say, hey, that's the start of the season or whatever, but we don't want to see that stuff happen again. You want to see your team come out like the Rams came out against Frisco, like the Rams have come out against other teams, come out to play, come out, be serious, come out and move the ball, and come out and hit. And they didn't give the Buccaneers any life last night. That was the beautiful thing. I was in a constant text with the great Tim Burns and our sponsor, Paul Kistler. We were just going back and forth, and that, I respect Mayfield. I want Stafford as my quarterback, but I respect Baker Mayfield. And I was saying that I want to get that 4th score before I write Mayfield off. And we wrote Mayfield off when the Rams banged him up pretty good because he took off running. And like I think Collinsworth was saying, he had to run if he was going to help that offense. And he did. He did break away from a couple of sacks there, but he paid the price. Number 2, I still don't think the Rams have played their best ball yet. Hey, if you guys are there, just drop me a line, let me know, and I'll say hi. I don't think the Rams have played their best ball yet. I don't. They didn't score a touchdown in the second half. And what I really liked, there was this scene where Stafford got a little bit of pressure. He threw the ball. There was no one in the vicinity where he threw the ball. And it looked like him and McVay were kind of jawing a little bit. Now, their relationship is fine. I'm not implying anything's wrong in the relationship, but they were almost like a little hot because they didn't get the job done. That was real healthy to see. I thought that was really good that they're in this spot here where it's like, you know what, we're playing well, but we're not playing as well as we can play. And we're going to talk about a third receiver here in a second. Defensively, across the board, right? Across the board. The contract for Landman, the front guys, the edge guys, they did what they were supposed to do. Now, Tristan Wirfs was out there. Luke Gadecki was out there. And the Rams did what they were supposed to do. It was beautiful. The corners, the back porch, this team's going to get better because you've got players returning. So the best ball is still in front of the Rams. 3, I say this because I'm not trying to say I was right. Let me tell you what I was right about. Oh, yeah. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. Okay, I'm taking my victory lap. Brian Smith agreed, Pastor Joe, the Rams haven't peaked yet. No, they haven't. Thank you so much for that. But you did see that, right? Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. I want to say I was right about about Matthew Stafford, but I think we were all kind of there. I think they're trying to build a narrative again, that Stafford came from nowhere, right? I heard it this morning, everything from his back to him shopping around for a deal. Again, I think some of that was trying to find out what market was for Matthew Stafford at this point. I don't think the injury was, again, Harry hysterical made it like it was the end of the world. But I think the KBM is building up that Rams were ready to let Matthew Stafford walk. I don't think the Rams were ever ready to let Matthew Stafford walk. And then, this guy could barely do anything, with his back injury. And he tweaked his back. I'm sorry. I see a narrative they're trying to build here. So it's a feel-good story. No, the feel-good story is this guy survived 12 years in Detroit, right? How bad is Detroit? Well, in the movie Kentucky Fried movie that came out in 1976, when they were punishing a bad guy, one villain said to the other guy, he says, take him to Detroit. That's how bad Detroit has been in our lifetime. That's the narrative that we need to talk about, is that Stafford was overlooked, including by me, on how great he was. That moment where he threw the over-the-top bomb to, what was it, 35 yards or so, to Devontae Adams, it just wasn't fair, right? It was just, this guy's awesome. If you watch the highlight on the touchdown pass to Colby Parkinson, it's pretty much a no-look pass again. He's looking off somebody. Did you see about a 20-yard sling from the side here to Kanata Mumfield? First, that he would throw that to Kanata Mumfield was special. The other one was, that wasn't just a sling in the backfield to get around a defender. That was down the field. He threw that ball sidearm on the money, some 20 yards down the field. This guy is unbelievable. Un-McFrickin' believable. And I'm just watching how the KBM is starting to fawn all over him. I really don't care. For his sake, I hope he gets it. As a Ram fan, I'm more concerned about Carolina and the Cardinals in the next 2 weeks than I am about Matthew Stafford building up his MVP credentials, because the truth of the matter is they're going to give it to whoever they want to give it to, and it makes no difference on Matthew Stafford's performance, right? If they could find a way, to give it to somebody else, they would. And I don't care. He's already been our MVP. I think we've seen that through the years. Ron Reese. Hi, Joe. You were definitely right. Thank you so much. This is what Ron Reese is talking about, guys. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. Anyway, I'm taking my victory lap today, and we'll press on there. And on that Emmanuel Forbes victory lap, I think it was surprising. What's surprising us some is how physical he's become. Have you noticed how physical Emmanuel Forbes has become? I was texting back and forth with Paul Kistler. He's our sponsor, Kistler Law, by the way. Get compensation you deserve. Check the QR code. But he was texting me, and he sent me a text that he referenced Forbes as Ramsey 2.0. And now, no one is saying he's Jalen Ramsey, not even Paul Kistler, but we're getting things out of Forbes that no one expected. He's actually playing physical. Now, I don't want him to play too physical because he's going to be the best cover guy we have, and I don't want him getting hurt, right? But he's playing exceptional. And again, as this is the part that just cracks me up, is that the KBM completely missed this. This is another reason why, you guys didn't push back real hard on me. I was expecting, when I kept making these pushes back in the fall, or not in the fall, in the spring and winter last year, when the Rams didn't get a corner in the draft and they didn't sign one to free agency, I was expecting you guys to push back on me, but you didn't. And I think because you guys knew, you understood what the KBM didn't. The Rams were righted for not drafting a corner. They were righted for not signing one. I mean, even everyone in the Rams media was doing that kind of stuff. But you could see they had a belief in Emmanuel Forbes. You don't sign a guy off of waivers and assume the rest of his rookie deal unless you have belief in him. And the Rams had belief in Emmanuel Forbes. Now, is he going to be the ultimate pure shutdown corner? No, I'm not saying that. But, man, the Rams are getting clicks out of him they did not imagine. Now, imagine Emmanuel Forbes paired with with Ahkello Witherspoon later this year or in January. That's two cover guys, two pure cover guys. Now, you got two cover guys. I remember in '83, the Raiders made a trade. They had drafted Ted Watts. Now, no one remembers Ted Watts, and no one should remember Ted Watts. Ted Watts was a first-round corner, and he played with the Raiders for a few years. He was on their Super Bowl team in '83, but he was the guy on the other side of Lester Hayes. And you couldn't throw the ball to Lester Hayes, so you picked on Ted Watts. And Ted Watts was there when the Raiders lost in Washington. Then the Raiders made that trade for Mike Haynes, Hall of Famer. Lester Hayes should be a Hall of Famer. And I'm going somewhere with this. But this one I clearly remember is that the Raiders lost in RFK during the regular season of '83. But in the Super Bowl, what did they hammer the Redskins? 38-9. It was a real aesthetically pleasing Super Bowl just because of Marcus Allen and all the big plays and everything. But the word was, as you started listening to people talk, this is where your football growth comes, is that the Raiders were able to do things with two shutdown corners, cover corners, that allowed their defense to do other things that disrupted the Redskins offense. And I think as more and more as we see this, the Rams got guys. Now, they're always going to play the zone. We know that. But they got guys. Witherspoon is good in coverage, and he's going to have fresh legs. And then you got Forbes developing, and you got Kobe Durant, and there's a lot of depth here. And this is exciting to see what's going to happen in this as this year plays out. Let's see here. Paul, go Rams. Absolutely. How great was it to see Mevis kick a 50-yarder? Hey, man, don't read my notes. We're going to get there. First, I want everyone to say it with me. Joe T was right. Okay, let's get on to this next one. Kobe Durant. Kobe Durant's on a contract drive, and I wouldn't have any problem keeping him around with a second contract. Curl and Kitchens are more than capable of handling the back porch. They talked about it. Did you see it when Kitchens blew up that screen they had set up there deep in Ram territory? And I think he split the defenders or the blockers, and he went in there and made that tackle. Cam Kitchens is special. And I like Cam Curl. I really do. Cam Curl's a guy you can trust. And think about this. Again, the Rams still have Witherspoon and Lake returning down the road. And again, they're not recovering from leg injuries, right? They're not recovering from leg injuries. They're recovering from a busted collarbone and an elbow. So they should be getting their work in cardio-wise. They should be ready to come back and contribute. And then finally, here's the one. Josh Wallace played 60 snaps yesterday. He got 2 holding calls on him, undrafted free agent. He got 2 holding calls on him. I thought the second one was pretty weak. But this guy's an undrafted free agent who's contributing now in crunch time. And again, is he going to be the starter? No, he's not going to be the starter. You also got Jalen McCullough out there. But what it is, it's just more and more depth. I think Wallace played like 60 snaps last night. So that is awesome to see. And then finally, I'm going to throw this one more out there too, is Cam Curl's a free agent next year. Now, I find it really hard to believe that the Rams are going to let Curl and Lake walk both, right? My guess is they'll sign Lake, let Curl walk. But if Curl's cheap, wouldn't you want to bring Curl back, right? Wouldn't you want to bring Curl back? I would. Let's move on here. Speaking of Paul and Mevis, before we do it, we want to say it together again. Say it with me. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. All right. Mevis has yet to be a butthead. I've been sitting on that line for almost 3 weeks now, and the guy keeps delivering. I don't think we'll see Josh Carty again this year. He's kicking confidently. I do think it was a confluence of issues. There was probably an issue there with Alex Ward. That's why he was put in the street. And Jake McQuaid has settled things down. So I think we're all feeling pretty confident here that either the Rams, I saw a speculation this morning that the Rams could waive Carty and then get him back on the practice squad and hope that no other team would sign him. But And then you open another spot on the active roster because he's still on the 53. But Mevis has been, I think it's great. Again, cure, right? What's the cure? Oh, okay, we solved some of the kicking issues as of right now. The last 3 weeks, we haven't had to hold our breath on every PAT or now field goal. So that is good news to see. Also, Ron Reese, I love the way the Rams, let me put that there, Ron. Sorry about that. Let's get you in here. I love the way the Rams are playing, but McVay, please pull Stafford when the game is out of reach. Even Collinsworth mentioned it. Yeah, that was, I'm going to leave that one up there, Chief, because that one is a big one for me. Again, I was texting with Mr. Kistler and the great Tim Burns and other guys. I was texting with those guys, and I was dying. There's 5 minutes left. You know what? Jimmy G can come in and hand the ball off, right? And then I didn't even want to see Kyron Williams out there. I don't know if they were trying to get him some work. But, Jarquez Hunter is inactive, but Ronnie Rivers is on the active roster. Get Ronnie Rivers in there. Let him get some snaps. Please let Ronnie Rivers get some snaps. I didn't want to see at all Matthew Stafford out there. And I was glad Collinsworth said something because it's the place where I just don't understand McVay. And can you imagine how hard everyone is going to come down on McVay, right, if something happens? No significant injuries as of right now being reported. That, again, is a really, really good sign. All right, Mike Gutierrez at the game last night. Went to the game. SoFi was rocking. Did you feel like you were surrounded by legitimate Ram fans? Good for you. That's a great game to go to. What a great game to go to. You kick butt in the first half. The second half, you kind of sit back, enjoy your soda and nachos, and just yak it up. Good for you, man. I'm happy you got to do that. By the way, Micah, just so you know, this is how it all starts today. Say it with me. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. There we go. Okay. If you guys are sick of that, I'm not, so we're going to keep doing it. I won't do it in the big show later on this afternoon, but I am doing it now. All right. The offensive line. Vita Vea was contained. Yes. They contained Vita Vea. That was great, right? And not watching the Ram game, watching the Eagles-Cowboys game, I was encouraged by the way Dallas handled the Philly front. The Philly front is not invincible, right? But here's my issue, and this is the one going forward, and I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer here. I'm still not bought in on Coleman Shelton, and I still have some doubts about Avila. Now, I don't doubt Avila in the long run, but right now, how do I say this? I just don't trust those guys against more physical defensive fronts, right? We saw them last week, and you're gonna see a Philly down the road, likely, unless there's a total implosion there. You're gonna see Philly down the road, and I'm just not certain that the offensive line can get the push the Rams need when they need 4th and a half inch, right? And we don't want Stafford running that, right? And so that's my issue. Rams are 9-2, best record in the NFC. I got to slow down on my Coleman Shelton rage, but they are 9-2, best record in the NFC. But that's the one part that really makes me worried. What doesn't make me worried is that Warren McClendon should be the right tackle the rest of the way, right? I'm not saying Warren McClendon is the long-term answer, or the team thinks that Warren McClendon is the long-term answer, but for 2025, from here until the second week of February, and the Rams are putting on another ring, Warren McClendon should be the right tackle. Havenstein gets healthy. Havenstein becomes insurance in January and February, along with DJ Humphries. I like that. That makes me feel really good, right? Humphries hasn't played a snap this year. I hope nothing really happens. I hope we keep him around. He doesn't ask for a release or anything. This guy has a chance to get a ring, and it's just about he's insurance. Same thing with Havenstein at this point. I wouldn't mess with Warren McClendon. I'd keep him there. Now, what the Rams think of Warren McClendon, we're going to find out, right? Just like we found out about the cornerback room. Rams didn't draft one. Rams didn't sign a corner. And everyone said Rams blew it, but they thought they had their guy in Emmanuel Forbes. If the Rams don't go big with some of those picks, we don't know what they're going to do in the draft. Every time you think you know what the Rams are going to do, they don't do it. But if you don't go big with a tackle high in the draft, because I think they should draft one, but if they don't, and if they don't sign one, then that's going to tell you how they feel about Warren McClendon. And I kind of like this idea. Can you imagine the Rams being a contending team with an undrafted free agent at left tackle and a fifth rounder at right tackle? Well, what a statement to the Rams development, the Rams scouting department. Again, golden age in Rams history. My feeling is the offensive lineman I really want is somebody in the middle, center, guard, center. Dotson and Avila are in their contract years in 2026. And then Coleman Shelton was a 2-year deal. You know, that's kind of precarious too, as far as how long that'll last. But right now, I'm happy with the offensive line. I don't think it's a great offensive line, but yeah, something to keep an eye on. Paul, I agree. Let me get this out of the way here. Paul, I agree. Get our starters out when the game is obviously going to be won. Absolutely. And Shula did that. Shula did that last night. You saw more Josiah Stewart. You saw more Laurel Murchison. You saw more Ty Hamilton. You saw Sean Dolak, right? You saw more of these guys get snaps. Now, I'll check out their snaps and see what their snap count is when we get to the big show today. But no, Shula did do that, which was really, really great to see. And how much can you say about the defense? Again, they came out and did what they were going to do. They applied pressure. Verse, Young, all these guys. It was great to watch. Gets us really excited. And of course, the signing of Landman. Absolutely. Let's see here. Let's see. I love this one. These will always be my type of Ram games. Keep them coming. Yeah, I hate the close ones, right? I hate the close ones. Surratt, Rams seem like they are unstoppable, and they haven't played their best ball. So that's what's exciting, looking forward to. Paul, do you think Landman being very familiar against the Bucs while he was at Atlanta helped the defense last night? I don't think it hurt. I put it this way. I don't think it hurt. And and I know Atlanta won yesterday. They beat the Saints, but how bad does it look in Atlanta right now, right? The Rams could still get a top 10 pick, and Atlanta let Nate Landman walk, right? That is not good. Let's see here. Plus, how many UDFAs play on our defense? Jalen McCullough is playing. Josh Wallace is playing. A lot of guys out there. Omar Spates is playing. Those are 3 guys right off the top of my head that I'm throwing out there that are undrafted free agents. Love to see McCullough. I do too. TC, let's see. TC, Kobe Turner and Kobe Durant. Showed up big. And I was happy for Kobe Turner. People were taking shots at him saying he wasn't playing as well. There's a lot of guys on that line. And I think it was really cool that Collinsworth mentioned that Verse's impact is so big that he doesn't always get to eat in terms of other people get all the sacks and stuff. And so there's just, what does McVay say? Complementary football. But just on that defensive alone, it's very complimentary. And so everyone, it really gets spread out. Puna Ford. Somebody check that. Is Puna Ford an undrafted? I know we signed him as a free agent, but was he undrafted? I think he was an undrafted free agent. In fact, I'll look it up right now. Puna Ford was an undrafted free agent, right? Is that pretty special or what? Okay, another thing I want to hit on here. The Rams still need a consistent third receiver. Oh, by the way, for anyone clicking on later, say it with me. Joe T was right about Emmanuel Forbes. There we go. Rams still needing a third receiver. Atwell's supposed to be back. Ferguson had a drop. Now, I know it was a little awkward, but that was a drop. That was more of a drop this week than what he was labeled with a drop a couple weeks ago. But that was a drop. Mumpfield made some plays. That was great. And it's great that Stafford would throw the ball to him. And Whittington was involved, but someone has to be that third guy. And Xavier Smith, of course, was out because of the concussion. But I am a little concerned about that. I am a little concerned. Now, also, people were really hard on Devontae Adams. Well, Zion McCollum is not Tariq Woolen, and he's not Devin Witherspoon, okay? He's not part of that Seattle defense. So things came a little smoother. And I'll be honest, Adams looked a little healthier this week than he did last week, the last couple of weeks. So I love the wide receivers, right? I get nervous every time Puka Nacua goes off the field. I do. I really get nervous every time he goes off the field. Who is this third guy? Who's the guy? Who's going to step up and be the playmaker in that third spot that the Rams really need? I've been honking for Ferguson, but it's not always going to be Ferguson. Mumfield made some catches. Whittington got involved. And we'll see what happens with Atwell when he gets back. But the Rams need a third guy. Definitely. Definitely need a third guy. All right, Micah Gutierrez. Let me see what you got here, Micah. Boom. The whole defense looked great, but Josh Wallace in particular did a great job filling in for Quentin Lake. He got hit with those 2 holding calls. I thought the second one was weak. But I do think how do I say this? I do think 62 snaps for an undrafted free agent in a critical game. That's depth to me, man. That's depth that we don't have to have our hearts stop when there's an injury. Now, in the wide receiver room, we could have our hearts stop, but on that defense, there is depth. And so that is exciting to see. Let's see. Landman. All right, Landman, undrafted free agent. There you go. Sorry, hit the wrong one. Landman. There you go. Gotcha. Thank you, Ken. Mike Gutierrez, the third receiver, has become the second tight end, and Parkinson is beginning so much better since that week 1 fumble. Yeah, Parkinson's really getting involved. USA X-back, Colby and McClendon, most improved Rams. Yeah, are you talking about Colby Parkinson? I'm thinking Kobe. We got so many Coes and Kobe's on this team. But I think he's just more comfortable in McVay's system, right? Just more comfortable. And McClendon, third year. This is his third year on the roster. And I think it's time, right? That's exciting to see. Again, development for your team, right? And again, when the Rams bring these guys in, these undrafted free agents, that's why I watch that practice squad hard. That's why you watch those late rounds, right? Think about this. The Rams have scored Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua, 5th round. They've scored others, in the 6th and the 7th. We scored other players. McClendon could be added to that, right? If he does become a starter, or you get significant. If you win a Super Bowl with Warren McClendon at right tackle, and that's all he does, then what a great pick and development that was, right? That's just something that, again, as a Rams fan, you just have to love to see. Forbes most improved defender. Did I tell you about him? Yeah, I was right about Emmanuel Forbes. Forbes most improved defender from USA. I think he's just developing. I think he's just what he couldn't develop with the Skins that he's developing with the Rams, and the Rams have to be applauded again, picking this guy up that people were out on, and he is playing lights out. Now, does he stick around for a second contract? He might play so well that he doesn't want to stick around for a second contract, but he's here now, and the Rams window is open. So that's really cool. Ron Reese, I agree the whole defense looks good. Imagine Donald playing this year with it would be lights out. Yeah, I know. I thought for a while there he would come back after last year, but no, I don't think he's coming back. Okay, let me wrap this sucker up real quick. The concerns I have right now are, could there be a letdown in Carolina? We're going to see what Carolina looks like tonight. And then getting trapped in Arizona, right? Because the schedule is Carolina, the Cardinals, and then the Lions at home. And the Lions aren't what the Lions were right now. They're vulnerable, but that's a team. That's a team you got to reckon with, right? And so what I'm worried about is them looking at the Lions and overlooking the Cardinals. And I know you're saying overlook the Cardinals. Hey, the thing about that is Jacoby Brissett's going to be playing quarterback. Now, he may not be going to Canton. He's played well, but he's not going to Canton. But he's so much more dangerous than Kyler Murray because Brissett will take what's given him, where Murray will scramble around and try to make the big play and once in a while hit on the big play. And if Kyler Murray was playing for the Cardinals, I'd feel much more confident about the Rams going to the Valley of the Sun. Brissett scares me. He just does. And the rest of that team, because I think they also like Brissett. I think because Brissett is a team guy. So watch Carolina. I'm concerned about what the Rams might find there in Tobacco Road. And then I'm worried about Arizona becoming a trap game because they're looking at the Lions going forward. So just stuff to keep an eye on there. All right, cool. I'll do USA Expat one more time. Monkey off our back now. Keep those defensive TDs coming. Absolutely. Fully agree with you, Chief. Fully agree. And by the way, did I mention? Yeah, I was right about Emmanuel Forbes. I won't be as obnoxious today. I'm going to try to get on between 3 and 4. And be sure, guys, to thank our sponsor, Paul Kistler. Get the compensation you deserve. Check on that QR code if you've got a question about some auto-related injuries and issues. And be sure to check out my book, Game Day in the Ram Cave, on Amazon. It's softcover and ebook format. I'm debating right now. I could release it very soon in audio if I want to go with the AI voice. AI voices have gotten so much better, but they're still AI voices, and I'm not sure what I want to do on that one. I would like the sales. I would like some extra dough for Christmas. Okay, guys, we're getting out of here. We're pushing 30 minutes. I didn't mean to go that long. Thank you for joining me this morning. Oh, one more time. Yes, I was. Okay. God bless, guys. Take care. Sorry to leave you. 3 o'clock, 3:30 this afternoon. We'll do Ram.